Hi everyone, welcome to this video on viral diseases, part of the Human Body Part 2 scheme. Again, rather than drawing out the diagram from scratch, I'm just going to very quickly show you an example of a diagram that I did with a group at Orchard Park earlier this year. Like in the video on bacterial diseases, I think what's important here is to start with concrete examples of viral diseases, show how they can be transmitted, really emphasizing this idea that they are transmitted as pathogens, and that's the big idea of communicable diseases, that there are these pathogens. And once you've done that and you've shown how pathogens can get inside the body for these particular viral diseases, then you can look at an even more kind of abstract level at the mechanism by which viral diseases actually cause problems inside our body. So I've just done a couple of examples here, I suppose. So these viral diseases, cold, flu, COVID, and measles, all airborne diseases. You could talk about water droplets as well. So it's air and it's water from a sneeze or whatever. I didn't really know how to draw this one, but sexually transmitted diseases I've covered in this part. You will choose, depending on the group that you have, how exactly you want to draw a diagram for that, or whether you wish to or not. But anyway, I just did a little arrow like this so students hopefully got the idea. And the main thing, as I said before, is that in each of these cases, what is happening is somehow a pathogen is getting from the infected person over here into the non-infected person, and that somehow the pathogen is getting inside their body, whether it's airborne or by sexual fluids or whatever. So then the next stage is to zoom in inside the newly infected person's body and examine what happens. And what I've tried to show here is that these viruses invade the host cells and then rapidly replicate in order to replicate their DNA. And again, this is a year 8 scheme of work. You might even cover it in year 7, depending on your curriculum in your school. We don't want to go into loads and loads and loads of detail. The main thing that we want to get across is that there is a difference between viruses and bacteria. So bacteria typically tend to release toxins, whereas viruses have this mechanism of invading the host cells and so on. It's also going to be helpful to stress this role of antigens here, because that's going to be really important in a couple of lessons' time when we start to look at the immune system and white blood cells and antibodies and vaccines and so on. So they are the things that I would be focusing on for this lesson. In the next video, we will look at protozoa or protists. I never know which it's called, and we'll look at malaria as a concrete example.